Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh. Today we're going to be looking at one of the coolest precision rifle chassis that I don't think you've probably ever heard about, but you should have. So let's get into it. We're going to talk all about this. This is the Vision Pro chassis. So as you can see here, I have one of my Rimexes in this chassis, and I've been shooting it for about a week pretty solidly, and I have been really impressed. But I want to quickly go over the quick overview on this for those of you who may not be in the know, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of this, but I'm not going to talk specs and minute details, those kind of things. I'm going to talk about the nitty-gritty on what matters to people like me and you, and that's shooters. So what does this offer that other chassis may not? What are the things that you're going to notice for the money on this? But first of all, like I said, this is a Remington 700 inletted chassis. The Vision Pro is just for the Remington 700. So there are a ton of Remington 700 chassis on the market, and like a lot of the premium ones, you are getting a full length forend here, has 11 M-LOK slots. You're getting adjustable cheek riser. You're getting a bag rider that's adjustable. You of course can get internal weights, and you can use their external weights or your own. Like you see here, we got a mix here. We have one of the Vision external weights plus my gray ops that I normally run. So it's going to be a lot like the other premium chassis, where basically any accessory you could ever need, you can get for this. The forend, this comes with a one-piece solid complete forend cover. You can also get a night vision bridge. Like I said, internal weights, external weights, buttstock weights, both internal and external. But these aren't the things that drew me to this chassis. These are not the things that made me reach out to Vision. And these are not the things that make me absolutely love this chassis after shooting it for a week. And I know a week is not a lot of time, but in a week, I probably shot 1,500 rounds through this. And I've had 2 different barreled actions in it. I run it with varying degrees of accessories and on props, and I am really impressed. So let's get into the things that make this a standout. So first and foremost, the entire chassis, including the mag latch, everything but the grip and the cheek riser here, is going to be made out of 70-75 aluminum. Now, that is a step above most other premium chassis. Now, one thing I've noticed, and I did read this as a feature, I didn't really believe it till I started shooting it, but this 70-75 aluminum is very dead, and that is not a bad thing. If you've shot precision rifle, whether it's rimfire or centerfire, you've all had a chassis or seen somebody's chassis and shot it and heard it be real tingy, almost like a tinny sound, or feel the vibrations. That does not exist in this. This is very dead. No vibrations, no tinging, no pinging, nothing. It is very dead. Another big thing about this chassis that you're going to hear me talk about as we go along is attention to detail. These are made in Norway. They are made in small batches, so we're talking like 30 to 50, and they are made by a small shop of guys. So when you get your hands on this and when you're looking at this, there's no lack of attention to detail. Everything is just so well finished, it's crazy. There's no blems. Everything is super well thought out, and there's a lot of little things that stood out to me as I got this, kind of unboxed it and set this up. Now, action screws, we've all had to play with them, shorten them, whatever, trim them. This comes with 2 washers for each action screw, and I know that's something really simple, but to me was very thoughtful, because I'm constantly having to find a washer or something when my rear action screw is too long or the front is too long and is bottoming out. So the fact that they include 2 for each, that was really nice. Another thing, super well thought out. There is a hole in the bottom of the trigger guard here so you can adjust your triggers. If you have an adjustable trigger like most out there, you can come through here and adjust it right there. And in the same ballpark, we have the magazine latch, which is fully adjustable. And what's cool about this is there is a torque screw on the back side of the trigger well here. You loosen that, then you have 2 screws here, and you can adjust this with a magazine in the chassis. So for rimfire guys, we all know how much of a pain it can be to get a magazine adjusted just right. Now, I will say with the Rimex, yeah, good luck. That's a big old extension and it's kind of in the way. You could get to it, but most likely not. You'd probably have to take your extension off, but for most rimfire magazines, most centerfire magazines that aren't running huge extensions, you will be able to adjust the mag height in this when the magazine is in the chassis, and that can be extremely helpful. So beyond the 2 washers that you get with the action screws, you're also going to get 2 of their thumb rests. Now, these are very similar to the MDT, just a little bit flatter, and I was so used to my MDT because I've been running that Elite for a while now that I actually stuck an MDT on here, which is cool because you can do that. These aren't like a proprietary thing, but they do include 2, and those screw positions are ambi, and there are a ton of options. So it's definitely going to fit you no matter how far forward or backwards you like your thumb rest. There's also 3 accessory screw locations. Those are also going to be on both sides, and you'd have to use your imagination for what you could come up to use those for, but us precision rifle guys love our accessories, so it's cool that it gave us a spot to add them, and I think they'll probably come out with their own accessories going in the future. So if you guys have been around for a while, you know I'm not a huge fan of polymer, but over the last year or so I've actually grown to really appreciate it, especially when it comes to rimfires, because we're constantly juggling weight and balance points, because rimfire barreled actions tend to be lighter and shorter than centerfire, so they're a little harder to balance, especially when they're in a full-fledged chassis. Now, this does have a polymer grip. It is an AR-15 style grip, so if you don't like it, change it out with whatever you want. I actually find the large vertical grip that comes with it to be really, really good. I enjoyed using that. And the cheek riser is also polymer, but when you look at these, they are extremely well made. I mean, they are not just cheap junk. You can tell they are quality. So I have no doubts that these will be around a long, long time, and I will probably likely never change them out. And of course, we talked about this earlier, but totally adjustable length of pull, cheek riser, just has this quick style turn knob deal. And at first, before I got my hands on this, I'm going to be honest, I thought that this wouldn't lock up really well. I thought you would be able to defeat that, and it would be kind of like, you know, it would kind of feel like it was digging in, and it doesn't. It has these nice clear plastic washers on it, and when you turn this and lock it up, it is locked up. I mean, I am not applying a ton of pressure. Releases super easily, and you just give that a quick turn, lock it up, and it is not going anywhere. I mean, it is very, very well thought out. Now, another thing that you're going to notice is on these adjustments, there's no slop in these. Like, these don't walk around, they don't jiggle, they don't do all these things, and that is by design. Now, you can remove all these. You can remove the cheek riser here. You can remove the adjustable length bag rider. I will pan in for a close-up on these, but everything that is movable or detachable kind of has like this groove in it that mates up with the actual action itself. And that's what's taking all the slop out of these. And that's what I mean by extremely well thought out and well designed. I mean, everything on here fits really, really solid. Of course, if you go up underneath this little hood here for the cheek riser, you can move the cheek riser back and forward. So you're getting up, down, back, forward, all the adjustments you could ever want. And it's as simple as putting it back in and giving it a quick tighten, and it's not going to go anywhere. Now, I mentioned the length of pull, and you can move this just in and out just like you can the cheek riser, but you can also totally remove this. And inside here, there are some cavities, and you can fill these with these buttstock weights. Now, these are the internal weights for the buttstock. And another option is they also offer, I don't have them, but external buttstock weights as well. So if you're running like a 28-inch, you know, straight taper, center fire, you know, really front heavy deal, you've got lots of options to weigh down the rear of this and get this thing nice and balanced. And we'll take a quick look at the bag rider. It is, of course, adjustable up and down, just like the other piece. Also very, very well thought out. Even if you drop it down and lock it in place, it does not move all over the place. It is very, very solid, even at the end of its travel, and that's because of this kind of tongue and groove design of how all their accessories mate back into the chassis. So guys, I do not want to beat a dead horse here. There'll be more videos with the Vision Pro as I shoot this. I actually have a new rimfire rifle in the works right now. it will be going into this. It'll be my competition rifle for next year. And I just want to quickly say that I appreciate the guys over at GCP. They are the only U.S. retailer for them. Again, this is a Norwegian chassis. And these guys did send this in for me to review it. There's no money changing hand. Likely might have to send this back. We have not talked about any of that. There's no affiliates. There's no kickbacks for me. I sought these guys out and basically begged them to send me this to review it. And I love it. I can tell you right now it's not going anywhere. I don't know what it's going to cost me to keep it, but I am for sure keeping it. Just been super impressed with this. And again, like I said, more videos in the future. I do want to give you guys a quick look at the finish on this, because not only is this super functional, but it's probably got one of the best finishes I've ever seen on a chassis. I mean, every single where you look on this is just like glass. I mean, the attention to detail, even down to the finishing work on this, even if you look at the weights are just ridiculously well finished. Every single thing that is threaded on this chassis, everything threads in butter smooth. And again, you know, that's why I reached out to these guys. I knew a buddy of mine who had a Vision chassis. I've been paying attention to them for a little while. And the big takeaway here is it's a premium chassis. You're going to get all the things you get with other premium chassis. I think the standout here is these are made in small batches by a small team. So you're getting something that is basically a piece of art. I mean, it feels like, and I don't know this, it really feels, having this in hand, like one or two people built this chassis from the ground up every step of the way. You will know as soon as you get your hands on it that this is not a high mass-produced piece of equipment. This is something that is looked at every step of the way, and every single thing about it is finished to the max. And I love that about it. It's another great option. And what a time it is to be in precision rifle stuff. Whether you're shooting rim fire or center fire, look at all the cool stuff we have. Look at all the companies we have. Huge amount of competition in the marketplace, and it is just delivering cool product after cool product after cool product. And we'll keep bringing those to you guys as we can. We have been very fortunate to work with some of the best people in the industry. And I'll tell you, the stuff that we get on here is not good by mistake. I chase these guys out. I know already that something's good, and then I go after these guys. But again, more videos in the future. I appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you on the next one.